All right. So continuing the more fun note of things, what does being a Hokie mean to you? So Chris, we'll start with you this time.
I can't imagine not. And for anybody that knows me, I live it, breathe it, drink it, wear it, own it. I live in San Antonio, and so it's amazing. I've got this like super radar. Right, exactly, Jeff. I've got this super radar on. I mean, I will like attack a Hokie I run into and target. But really, truly, I think the community service thing was deeply embedded in me. I have dedicated most of my adult life to helping, especially in the mental health area. And I can't even imagine. I mean, it's just such a hard question because it's that fundamental. I am what I am who I am, and I am because I'm a Hokie.
That's perfect. Steve?
So, when I first moved to Raleigh, that's 30 some years ago, nobody knew what a Hokie was. You had NC State, you had Duke, you had North Carolina, UNC, and it was like, so, who are these other people? But, I've eventually ended up going back on campus and recruiting. And, I used to tell the students, I said, think about it. People come from, and Jeff and Jay both represent that side of the country. People now come from the complete opposite side of the country. They don't go looking for the local schools. They come from the West Coast to recruit at Virginia Tech because of the reputation that it has for research, for engineering, for the things that we could be proud of. And so now, people don't think about it quite the way it was that we did when I first graduated. I mean, they didn't even really know what it was. But now my granddaughter knows. So she's 2.
Let's start them young.
That means you're a good grandfather.
There you go. Well, her daddy went to UNC. So, we buy the maroon and orange clothes, and he does his best to not put it on her. But, he's losing.
Love it. Jay, how about you?
Yeah, I think to me, it's more about Hokie means to be for each other and then support each other wherever we go. And I think what Steve mentioned, right? I mean, I have a different story where I went to Niagara Falls once, and then I used to wear this Hokies United t-shirt with me. And then, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, there were 2 or 3 people I met on the way who are like, oh, let's go Hokies. I mean, they basically exclaimed there, and it just feels like you are right on campus at that point of time, right? And I had the same feeling there, even in Bay Area, wherever I used to often go. So it shows that I think Hokies are everywhere. They support each other. They recognize you, and you feel one when you are with them. So I really that spirit is what really means a lot to me as a Hokie.
Yeah.
Yes, family. I'm youngest of 7. I'm the baby of the family, and I went the furthest away from the nest. Virginia is where we're all from, in Richmond, and Tech is basically the extension of my family. My best friends. There's a group of us that we're still together to this day. We did our reunion when we all turned 50. We went back there. So a couple of years ago, I was back at Tech. And I just, I love, I love the way Chris said it, because it is. It's like, I don't know what it would be. I don't know how I could not be a Hokie. It's like I don't know if I picked the name out of a hat. I'm not sure what got me to Tech in the first place, but I can't imagine what it would have been had I picked any other school out of that hat. So I mean, it was I think it was dumb luck that got me there, but I feel really connected to that. I love the nature. I started all my biking there. Loved all the countryside biking. Now with my kids older, I've started recruiting again. So it's basically a reconnection time, and it's been just out of this world joyous to go back and re-experience campus and, help to connect the dots of, hey, I was on the interviewing side, the interviewee side of this before. And now it's like, let me connect the dots here. It's been fun to reconnect.
To be there, Jeff. We were all just destined.
What's that?
We were all destined to be in Virginia Tech to study there.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, I mean, you were from Virginia. You only really had a choice of stepping down and being a Wahoo or going to Tech and going for the best.
No, my family was a VCU, it was ODU, it was James Madison. I mean, there were plenty of them, but it was, no, I think at the time it was basically a coin flip between Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech, because Georgia Tech had a pretty good program going too.
But you picked the best.
I've often wondered, living in Texas and UT and A&M being such large schools and the communities around them, I have often wondered if the isolation of Blacksburg hasn't been part of how we don't have anybody else but us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've often wondered if that sort of helps with that instant connectedness thing. When I first started taking my non-Hokie husband to Virginia Tech, I used to always say he made me a better Hokie because, when you're in it, you're just in it. It's who you are and it's what you do. And having out the outside perspective of, you guys will just walk up and like Hokie to Hokie, you never met, but you're already talking. I mean, the four of us are doing it, and and he said, you guys are totally into your thing and that's who you are. It's part of your identity. And having that outside view, I was like, that's pretty cool of us. We're pretty awesome.
Yeah, well said.
You mentioned that you wore a Hokie t-shirt at Niagara Falls and had someone yell out, "Go Hokies." I'm interested to see the most like out of the box place you've had someone yell "Go Hokies" to you for the rest of the panelists.
Wow.
It's a hard one.
That is a hard one because because it happens a lot.
I'm pretty sure it keeps happening, right? I mean,
Yeah, it never stops.
Yeah.
I think mine was before I was even a Hokie. My older brother went here, so of course that's all I got for Christmas every year from him was more Hokie gear. And I was in the Seattle airport, and a dentist in Blacksburg was also in the Seattle airport. Just started chatting with my mom and I, and he was like, "If you ever need a home cooked meal as a freshman, like here's my business card." Like, I feel like that doesn't happen with other universities, but that shows how great our alumni is, and it is a family. Anyone thought of their answer yet?
Yeah, and you know what? I know I'm trying to think of where it was. It happened to me recently, and I was actually in professional gear, but I had forgotten I was wearing my VT alumni mask. And these people were passing me and he was like, "Hokie, huh?" And I was like talking to the people I was walking with and it completely threw me. And I was like, yeah. And I'm trying to think of where it was because it was in the craziest out of context spot.
Typically it's just a "Go Hokies," it's just an out of the blue, someone yelling "Go Hokies." You're like, that's the cheer. So it's easy. I was at Chick-fil-A, the first Chick-fil-A in the state of Washington, is right down the street from me. And I was down there and I had the mask on. It was the same thing. And I hear behind me, "Go Hokies." And then there's another, and actually she was born and raised in Blacksburg. So it was real. Yeah. Like, what got you out here?
To get a Tech mask, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think the latest one, we should all wear it and go and then check how many people recognize.
See what we can do.
The bookstore sells them.
Yeah.
Steve, do you have one?
No, oddly enough, I can't think of one. I mean, I mainly wear the shirts around here. Just to kind of put down all the other people.
Oh, Randy's got a good one in the chat. He said that he ran into a Hokie at Arches National Park in Utah who was married to a VTCS alum, and he was wearing a VT baseball cap. That's awesome. I love that.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I always say too, I always tell people that I'm with when somebody walks by with the "Go Hokies," and I always look at people and go, "See, you need to be careful with."
Oh, so it reminded me of there was all the magnet decals. There was one Hokie, very proud Hokie with magnets all over his car. It was awesome, but I had never met the person. He was Microsoft employee, and he's in my building, so I see the truck sitting there, but never found out who it was. But I had VT decals that I just decided, I'm not going to use them on my car anymore. So I just contributed to his collection and just added them to his car.
Very nice.
I have
on the
not
front
yet found
windshield.
out who it is, and he probably didn't notice that there were 2 more on the car because it was already littered with them.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Maybe you both could exchange. You could
Hey,
pick
so
some.
Jeff, does that count as food pro sim? I just need to know.
Is it count as what?
Does it, you putting the stickers on, is that just a little piece of food pro sim?
Sure, absolutely.
Inquiring minds need to know.